don't get me wrong, I love the shred stuff, and I love getting good at it. It's super fun, but right now I'm in a phase where I'm just like, it's not fun. I don't want to look back and be like, I wasn't good at anything. I wasn't good at the thing I love, that thing that I fell in love with when I was 14 years old. So this video is going to be a lot different than most of my other videos. I don't know really why I'm making it. Hopefully, maybe it can help someone else. But essentially though, right now I'm in a time where I don't really love guitar like I used to. And I know it's not going to last. And this does happen to me every once in a while. And maybe it happens to you. So I just kind of wanted to talk about it and talk about what I usually do to get through that and to get over it. And I'm just going to preface this by saying that it's okay if sometimes you don't feel the passion for your instrument like you used to. It's normal for you to get into a rut and to think or not make progress. And that can be really frustrating, and that can sort of eat away at you. You know, and that discouragement and that frustration can eat at you to where you kind of lose the passion for it, type of thing. And not only that, but I think for me, what is being so focused on technical skills, that can eat away at you too. And that's what I've mostly been focused on over the last few years. And it's a give and take, because to get good at technical skills, to get good at alternate picking and whatever, sweep picking, you have to work really hard at it. You have to work really hard at it to the point where it takes over almost everything, unless you have 4 hours a day. So I only have an hour and a half a day really to practice. So in order to really advance my technical skills, that basically all of my time has to be spent on that. Maybe not, but that's kind of what I've been telling myself. And I think that you start to lose the passion and the fire when you stop playing stuff you really love. You know, I like this sort of thing most of the time more than shred guitar. You know, I really enjoy that thing, but all the technique stuff just takes so much time that I don't get to work on it as much, and it's just kind of like you kind of lose sight of what you love most. Don't get me wrong, I love the shred stuff, and I love getting good at it. It's super fun, but right now I'm in a phase where I'm just like, it's not fun. It's not really that fun. And what I'm trying to say is that it's actually okay. And I realize that now. I used to think that you always had to feel the passion and the burn and always be enjoying it. And okay, dude, maybe pro guitar player who's really good, who's like, oh, if you don't love it, you shouldn't. I think that's bullshit. Like I think us normal human beings, we go through phases where we just don't like it as much, or it's frustrating, or whatever it is, and we start falling out of love with it. And that's okay. Like, if you're an anomaly, dude, and you just like always love it all the time, good for you, like fine. But I think a lot of us go through phases where we don't. And what works for me is going back to being creative and playing stuff that you truly love playing, that really inspires you. That really turns me back on to like that love and that passion for it. And so I'm trying to do that more lately right now. The other thing that gets me down, and that gets a lot of my students down, and causes them to, you know, fall out of love with the instrument and just like when not want to pick it up, is lack of progress. And I think there's two things that cause people to feel like they're not progressing. And number one is expectations. And I still struggle with this. I have to tell myself this every day. And that is like, you have to expect it to take a long time. Because it is going to take longer than you want probably. You have to slowly chip away at it. And the other thing too is people aren't practicing effectively. They're not practicing effectively. They're just jamming or just going mindlessly repeating things over and over again. And that's frustrating because you're not actually targeting specific weaknesses and specific technical or mechanical issues that you need to actually fix. And so if you're not doing those two things, if you're not creating and if you're not actually practicing effectively and having someone teach you the correct mechanics, someone who actually knows how to do it, it can be really frustrating and you start to fall out of love with the instrument. So right now, as I'm like in this phase, those are the two things I hyper focus on. I'm hyper focusing on getting back into creating and playing stuff that moves me a little bit more, maybe focusing a little bit less time on technique only and more on creativity and stuff that moves me. And then the other thing too is keeping the mindset of like, okay, I know I'm plateaued a little bit on some of these skills, but if I stick to the game plan, the practice methodology that I've developed, and it's not like a pitch or anything, but like if I know that works because that's gotten me from kind of a shitty player to a much, much better player. And so I know if I just stay the path and keep working the system, it's gonna work out. It just takes longer. You have to let go of expectations. It's like we want it now. You hear the awesome solo and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to be able to play that right now. And a lot of times that's not the case. A lot of times you have to chip away at it, and you have to be stoked about the fact that you're just a little bit better at a single detail, like a string transition. Outside the string picking, you're getting a little bit better at that this week, whatever it is. You have to take the small victories and have patience about the rest. And this is as much of a reminder for myself as it is for anyone out there watching this. But I'll tell you what, I don't quit. Now, when I go through these situations where I just am falling out of love with the guitar and I don't want to pick up the instrument, it's kind of a struggle every day. I stay the path now because I've never looked back. I've been really consistent over the last like 2 years, and I haven't looked back and been like, oh, I regret that I kept with it. I've never said that. I've always been like, it's pretty badass how much better I've gotten, and I'm glad that I have these skills now. It's like at the end of my life, dude, what am I going to look back and be like? I don't want to look back and be like, I wasn't good at anything. I wasn't good at the thing I loved. That thing that I fell in love with when I was 14 years old, where I was like, I have to be able to do that. I'm going to be like, I'm glad I stuck it out and that I have these videos and this footage or recordings or whatever of how I've gotten to the point where my 14-year-old self would be like blown away, honestly. It's so hard to see your progress and where you're at. Sometimes you have to look back at where you came from. So yeah, man, it can be discouraging, but you have to stay the path. And hey, for any of you out there who want, I can help you. I have a Guitar Prodigy system is what it's called. It's a community of guitar players that are all leveling up together and encouraging each other. It honestly helps me a ton, and I'm the one who's in charge of it. So if you need help with your technical skills or fretboard freedom, then go ahead and click the link in the description. If you're not into that sort of thing, I have tons of other videos on my channel. You can check those out. Check this video out right here next.